welcome back to my brand new Minecraft series that I'm making. It's called Just Build, and this is a project I've been thinking about for a super long time, and I thought I would share it all with you guys. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more content, and let me know what else you want to see from my channel in the comments below. This is a series that I'm very excited to share with you guys, and I just want to say I've been working really hard on it. So with that out of the way, I'm going to explain the rules to you guys. So I have a randomized Minecraft wheel, and it's got every block in Minecraft that you could possibly think about. And basically what it's going to do is I'm going to spin it, and there's going to be 6 different blocks I have to use to build with this with this specific palette. I'm using 6 blocks because I want to keep it simple and even, and I think it'd be best so that way it doesn't overshadow the rest of the detail. And I think it's going to be a great build. I get to build with you guys get to see how creative I am, and you guys get to see a lot. So, as you can see, I'm spinning the wheel, and obviously we got an interesting block to start with. We got cracked deep slate tiles, which it wasn't something I was expecting, honestly. I truly did not expect to get that, of all things. It wasn't the craziest build. And then we got twisting vines, which was another one we got, and then orange concrete, I believe was another one. Orange concrete, or orange candles and orange concrete, and then we had crimson trapdoors and magenta terracotta. So it was an interesting build. I will say it was very interesting to say the least. And so I went ahead and I went and got all my blocks to start, and as I was doing this, I noticed that the palette, it was getting a little funky. Definitely did not think I could mix orange and magenta together. It's a very interesting combination, I'll give it that. But I figured I could start out with a path and work my way from there. I figured I want to make this place look pretty as well as also making the builds, because I didn't want it just to be like a boring flat real estate land like most houses are. So I wanted to add a little bit of color and life, so I figured adding a path would be the next best thing. I didn't know what else I could really do at the time other than a path, and even then I was still trying to figure out what I could do with this palette, because I wasn't even sure if I could even make a house out of this. Like, this is just a weird assortment of blocks, and I had no idea what I was doing. But I figured I could start with a simple 10 by 15 area, mainly for the building. I'm going to plan it out, add stuff outside later on, as you can see. And here I am deciding whether or not I can figure things out with the house. I thought I could make a house at the time, but honestly I didn't make a house. And so I decided to take these cracked tile stones, and I used them for the floor because I feel like that would be the best idea. And then I took the orange concrete, and I think I had an idea at this point. I think I was trying to make like an accent wall, and the way I was doing it right here, it just wasn't working. And so I brought in my Sims 4 skills, and I brought it in on just a little bit to give it an accent wall. And I didn't realize how bad this looked. And then I tried also to maybe make some pillars to make it look less ugly. Like, I desperately tried to make pillars, and I didn't know what I was doing for the pillars, because, again, I didn't know what I was doing. But I figured, you know what, it's going good, I'll go with it, this is going fine. And so, you can see me going around adding these pillars to the outside, and my god, I didn't know what I was doing. I genuinely did not know what I was doing at this time. And I also had to make sure I could put twisting vines inside the house, and then I completed it with a second floor. Yes, this is surprisingly going to have a second floor, because I figured out finally what I could probably do with this. And I was thinking at this point in time I could turn it into a brew shop. You know, like to brew potions and stuff. So I went ahead, added some windows, and I had to figure out which type of glass I could use. So I figured I used the dark glass, like the black glass, because I figured that would be the best. Yeah, and I don't know where I was going with this, but I decided to try to put a door here, and, well, I hated it. I hated that there was a door here. I don't know what it was, I hated the door. And then, so I continued, going on with the next build, and, as you can see, I didn't notice this at the time, but then I didn't realize the door was even until just that moment. It was not even the entire time, and I hate myself for it. So yeah, now I really hate myself because I can't even put a door. And this was still at the point where I decided I was going to make it a house still. I had no idea I was going to turn into a brewery station. And then I was just looking over this house and I was like, God, what did I do with my life? I don't even know what I was doing. And so I just continued to build, and then I was having trouble because I couldn't figure out where the twisting vine was going to go because I brought the house inward a little bit. I couldn't figure out where to put the vine. So I had to go from upstairs and try that. And then I could finally put the vine in there with some bookshelves to make it look a little bit more nicer, less noticeable, or at least less troublesome, if that makes sense. And I tested it out to make sure that it worked, and it worked. I made sure to put some bookshelves back here just so that nothing would spawn behind it. And it looked good so far. I thought it was really nice looking. Added some more books, and next was the fun part, which I had to try to add the roof, which was not the best idea. So I went ahead and I started with some trimming around here because I thought maybe that would bring in, divide it up a little bit, and then I filled in the pillar spots that needed to be filled to bring extra support. If I could, I would have put stairs there because I think stairs would look nicer. And I put an above story window right here, right above the door. And I thought it was going good because I thought it was going good at first. At least that's what I thought I did. Until I tried to get to the roof. And then that's when I realized my mistake. So you know how I kind of brought it in a little bit at the top? Yeah, well, unfortunately because I did that, it made the roof very, very uneven. And I couldn't figure a way around it. And I didn't realize until I started filling it in that it wasn't lining up in the slightest at all. And even if I did line it up on one side, it wouldn't line up on the other. And so I had to try various different methods of trying to get this roof together, and it was atrocious. I spent like a good over 30 minutes just on the roof alone, and I had to go with the most flat, basic roof that I could possibly think of because nothing else was working for me at all at this moment. But this is what the roof ended up looking like after I finished, and then I finished putting the glass in the upper story. And I had to make sure the windows was even because it was going to drive me nuts if I didn't make sure this window was even. And then it was finally time for me to use the crimson trapdoors. And so I went ahead and I figured, why not use these for shutters? These give off shutter material. Better yet, they also give off cabinet material. And so I figured I'd just go ahead and I use quartz to kind of just bring some white into the very orange section of the room. And I used that as a counter. And then this is finally, I think, when I decided I was going to turn this into a brewery. So I started making it look more enchanting by putting amethyst on the roof, and I thought it was really cute. What did I do after this? It's all a blur to me because this build is so ridiculous. But I think I started like adding stuff on the counter as like items, and then I think I was going to go do a rug as well. And I think I also put some glowberries in here just to make it look really pretty. And also here, I added some I added like a glowstone pile, much similar to like a gold pile, because I thought it would be kind of funny for just someone to have a stockpile of glowstone, because you end up getting so much of it when you go to the nether. Like, am I wrong? Am I the only one who thinks that? You just get a stockpile of glowstone when you go to the nether because you don't want to go back there. But I started adding some candles, and I also added some stuff in item frames, and I made these like little floating candles to give the shop an enchanted kind of feel to it, along with some purple and magenta carpet. And I think the shop turned out really nice in itself, at least for the downstairs. And I believe that was good. I also added this like little bit of a jutted glass door, so it looks like it was just like a sliding glass door, but it was slightly open. And I realized there was a piece of missing carpet, so I fixed that. After removing all of my items, I decided to go upstairs and try my hand at that. And I might have went a little bit, just a little bit crazy with some of the amethyst, I went a little bit crazy on that regard. So I went downstairs and I got the quartz and the crimson trapdoors again, and I went ahead and I made myself another counter like this. I laid down some redstone dust just to make it look a little bit messier than I wanted it to be. I put some bookshelves with a lectern, and I started adding the stuff anyone would need to have like a brewing stand. I originally put the lava by the bookcases, but then I thought it looked a little bit weird, so I put it next to the water cauldron. And then I got some more glowing item frames with some potions, and I just kind of scattered those around the room a little bit, just for like shelf items and decoration. And I put one on the bookshelf because I thought it would be super funny to do that. And then I put a book on the lantern. I added some end rods for just some extra effect to the upstairs. And I added some barrels for the storage, because I mean, who wouldn't? You're gonna need storage for a shop, you gotta have the storage room somewhere. And then after this, I went around and I got rid of the border because it was finally time to start decorating the outside. I added a little bit more detail around the main entrance of the door because I felt like it needed a little bit of spruce up. And then I added some like little flower pot areas, and I really wanted something enchanting, so I added the torch flowers and the pitcher pods because I thought it would be really cute to have those specifically. And then I went on the other side and I thought it'd be funny if they had like a little amethyst farm right outside their window, so I thought that was cute. And right here I built a little makeshift nether portal with some crying obsidian, and I wanted to make this like a little corrupted spot in the land. Maybe like they went to the nether and now it's coming out into the overworld and it's slightly corrupting the place. You know, and it's a bit of a mess because, you know, there's this overgrown fungus and other stuff everywhere like this, and I thought it looked cute. And then I wanted to start adding a little bit more detail, so I went and grabbed the shovel and I went ahead and started making like a little path to it. But I wanted it to be just more than a path. I wanted it to be kind of like a hidden, restricted path. So I planted some trees and... oh, I fell. I forgot I fell right there. Ignore that. But anyway, I wanted to make a little restricted path so that way it was kind of hidden and unseen from the public eyes because, you know, it's corrupting and, you know, you don't want people to have a panic. I then went to the other side and started making something for like a little garden-like area. Because I thought it'd be super cute just to have like, you know, some garden that they could come and hang out in and relax from their daily work. And then I started adding this like little pond area that I really wanted. I don't know why I wanted a pond area specifically. I just thought it'd be cute to have like a little water feature right here. So I added some stone and I added the stand. And this is where it gets really fun for me because I started adding like the little slabs and the little buttons for details in terms of rock. And honestly, I forgot how to spell button. Forgot how to spell button throughout this whole ordeal. So yeah, I wasn't happy with myself for that. But eventually I filled in the water and I got to work on the rest of the garden. I started putting these buttons down for little pebbles, and then I got out my stone slabs, and I began to work on the outside. I made this little rock-based barrier, so I was working on different types of rocks because I also want to add rocks more to my builds. There's something I really want to add more to my builds. It's rocks, because I think rocks are very intricate, and I love the way that mountains look. So I wanted to make this place look rocky and, you know, really interesting. You know, just gives a whole different vibe. I then went around the top and I added shutters to the top of the building because I forgot I added shutters in the first place till I looked at it again. And then this is what I had so far. And then I added a little bit of a sign here because I absolutely love the hanging signs. And I decided to name this little bit Potions Brewery Empire. And I thought it was really cute. And this is the part where I also went and I added a new add-on. This is the Every Wool add-on, I believe that's what it's called. So it gives me weird stuff like this sparkly wool, and it gives different colors of wool. And weirdly enough, it gave me randomly sparkled colored decor. I'm not sure why, but the wool is very sparkly, I will admit, and the couch is sparkly too. But I also added the furniture add-on that's on Bedrock currently right now. And honestly, I'm absolutely in love with this because, like, look at this bench. Look at the bench, and you can sit on it. It's It's so freaking cute. I love it. I love it so much. So I went and added a crimson bench to the park, and this was the final build. I don't know how to feel about the color, but I think everything else for the most part makes it work. Like, I can almost overlook the orange and magenta based off all these like random little items that I put in here. I still think I went a little bit crazy with the amethyst, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's room for improvement, right? But yeah, these are the blocks I've used, and obviously we're going through looking at the outside decor. I think it looked really good. I think I did a good job on it for what I had to use, and you know, there's always room for improvement. I knew this build was going to be wacky. I knew it was going to be crazy, and that's the whole point of this entire series. It's just to give a challenge to what you have to build with, and I do love that. I think there should be more building challenges out there like this, and I think it'd be really fun to have these kinds of challenges, and I love how everything looks, and maybe there's going to be more crazier and wackier builds down the road than this. We don't know, but I think it's going to be really enjoyable for the most part. And at the end of the day, I finally finished up and I wrote down what I built in my book. I like to keep a recording of all the builds I do, and I put it in my bookshelf. And so with that, I believe this is going to be the final look of the build. I've seen some crazy builds in my life, but none like this. Granted, I definitely could have done some improvements, but I think that's all for now. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and comment on what you would like to see on my channel, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye bye!